Hello everyone, welcome to a new video. Today we will discuss about container image layering and the flattening process for it. So let's get started. First we will understand what is the meaning of layers. So for that first I will pull one image, say Ubuntu image from Docker Hub. So Ubuntu is now been pulled to my local repository and I can check that using Docker images. So yes, Ubuntu is there. Now there are two commands to check about this image like Ubuntu, how many layers or any metadata about it. So first command will be a Docker image inspect. So let's do that. Docker image inspect and the name of the image. So that is Ubuntu. So it is showing me all the metadata about this image. What is the ID, repo tags, and container config, environment file path, and here I can see there is a layer mentioned. So now I want to know more about this layer. So what I'll do, we have another command, docker history. So I'm giving docker history Ubuntu. So here you can see one layer got created with 69.2 MB, and if we check docker images, so it is also showing 69.2 MB, which is actually contributing towards the size of this image. Another layer is there, but that is 0 byte of size. I am using latest version of Docker, and in this latest version only three kind of commands from Docker file, those are run, copy and add. Those are actually creating and contributing towards the size of the image. So other commands like expose, cmd entry point or workdir, these kind of commands creates intermediate layers, but they don't contribute towards the size of the image. Let's build another image out of this and let's see how my docker file commands can create multiple layers for my new image. I'm going to create a docker file, but before docker file let me create an application file. I will write it in C. So I'm writing this, say name it like parent underscore process dot C. My application file is ready. Next I will create a docker file here. So docker file is the important file for building any image. So I'm creating docker file. Docker file is ready. My application file is ready. Now I'm good to build the image. So yeah, docker build -t image layered image and tag is demo. Current directory is my context, so I'm giving dot. Let's build it. It is complete. So you can check in our docker image list. Yes, my layered image and demo is there and it is 369 MB of size. Let's do an inspect on this image inspect. and layered image demo. We can see there are multiple layers at there, count of layers 6. Now we will open our Docker file. If I check Docker history of my layered image and specify tag also. So when we are doing Docker images, you can see the file size is 369 MB, though the image was actually created on top of Ubuntu image, which was only 69.2 MB. So as per we are adding our commands here, and those are actually occupying some storage, that resulting our image is getting heavier from the base image. Also the layer count is getting increased. Now let's try to decrease the count of layer first, then we will think about how to reduce the size of the image. Let's clear it, and I'm removing my image for now. Also I am removing builder cache. There is okay, one image is there, and that is my Ubuntu image, so that is required. Let's think about how we can reduce the count of layers in the image. So each run command is actually creating one of the layers. So if we merge these commands in a single run command, then it will create a single layer, right? So let's try it. Let's try to build this. Okay. Before inspecting or checking the history, I just want to check how many layers were there in my previous builded image. So there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now our expectation is this current image. Let me check in Docker images. Yes, my layered image got created. The expectation is it will have less number of layers. So it should be less than 6. Let's inspect. And now I can see the layer count is 4. So we have successfully reduced the number of layers inside my image. Let's do the history command. Okay. So here we can see instead of all 3 run commands which was creating 3 different layers, now we merged all 3 run commands in a single one. So it is creating a single layer. That's why 2 layers we are able to reduce. In Docker images, the size is same as the previous. It is still 369 MB. So we have successfully reduced number of layers. Now we can try how we can reduce this image size also. Let's clear the screen. So first I will create a container out of my new image. My container got created, Docker yes. So yes, my container is there, and the image it is using, that is layered image with the tag demo, which is my newly built image. So now I will export this container. So Docker is having a command export, and I will create a tar file out of this container. So I'm giving -o, which is an option for output, and I will specify the name of this export file. Say layered container export.tar.gz, and finally the name of the container. Here I can see the tar file got created. I see the size, so it is 355 MB. If I do Docker images, it was 369 MB. I created a container out of this and I just export that. So the size of the export is 355 MB. Now I will import this tar file again back to Docker. So what we'll do, cat where Docker import, and I'm specifying a name for this new image. So let's say reduced layer image. Okay, so import is done. Let's check in Docker images. So my reduced layer image is there, and I can see the size is 365 MB. So somehow the 4 MB we are able to reduce from this image. That was our ultimate goal, to reduce the size of the image and also the count of the layers. Using import export operations in Docker, we can reduce a image size, and also by merging commands inside Docker files which are related and not dependent on any other command to be executed, we can merge them in a single command, single run command. Then the count of layers in image will also be reduced. So we need to be very cautious when we are writing our Docker files. As I mentioned, copy, add, and run. These are three commands which are actually contributing toward the size of the image and also increasing the layers. So use them very cautiously. So try this import, export, and merging of commands in Docker file from your end as well. Next day we will talk about another approach, how we can flatten down container image using builder pattern. So today I am stopping here. If you like this video, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thank you.